Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of Tabletop Stories. Set in the world of Bonsarel, we gather together and improvise an audio drama for you, so follow along. This epic fantasy is a world full of gods and monsters, and we play as ordinary heroes who delve into adventure, danger, and magic. The cast is a group of friends, all gathered around the table, rolling dice and telling a story. Sojourn with us and let your imagination wander into the world of Bonsarel. And so for now, our story continues. Dagonia, you are sitting there only one day later after the loss of Kazuka. But across from you sits Brother Dogoth and your newfound frogwoman, Juan, this strange frogfolk that can speak the common tongue with great ease, and apparently cast incredibly dark magic. Brother Dogoth, you sit across from Dagonia with your katana nearby. Much has passed during this time. Many thoughts may have been transpiring through your head, especially with the invocation of your goddess, Duvana. For now you know her name, the one who grants mercy. And Juan, as you have stumbled into this party on your way to find the necklace of the Union, perhaps many thoughts are going through your head. Certainly, with your +5 to trauma, you are on a dark path at this point. You know that without any sort of restoration or encouragement or conversation with a fellow sojourner, you are only one trauma point away from forever falling into darkness yourself. As the three of you sit around there, Dagonia, what do you pay attention to and how do you respond?
There's someone moving in the distance. And I think we maybe get a new company that we haven't known before. And I don't know who is he or she, but I think they want to join us. And I don't know, it's a friend or a foe. And yeah, it's a bit. I'm a bit afraid. We don't know him. We don't know who this person is. We have to figure it out, I guess.
Before Brother Dogoth and Juan can look up, Dagonia, you see someone walking in the distance. Hammerthorn, if you would begin to describe your appearance as you approach the party.
Short, but broad, big beard, standard dwarf. I do like my helmet. Very much solid on my head. Thorns coming out the side. I carry a very large axe for my size. It's in my left hand. I walk side to side, almost like a waddle, but very stern and very direct. And I look at Dagonia, and I'm walking straight towards her.
Dagonia, you see this dwarf walking towards you so directly. How do you respond?
Hello there. Who are you? Where did you come from?
And actually, I was going to ask you the same question. You are in a very, very dark area, very, very strange place. What brings three strangers here?
Well, we are on a quest. We want to find Sasha. We want to help Ubi, and we went through a lot. We went through hell here. And we tried to rest by the fire today. Who are you? Tell me about you. I mean, we want to know you.
Well, who are you? Because this is a very, very bad place. There's lots of evil here, lots of death here. This is no place for any sojourners to be.
I'm Dagonia, the demon huntress, and these are my friends here. And Brother Dogoth and Ron. Faultless One, yeah. And so
You
talk
journey
to us.
with a frog person?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Nobody journeys with frog people.
We do here. That's our thing.
I turn to the frog person that I see and I say, "Who are you?" There are no frog people in the area.
My name is Juan, but you can call me Juan. I am currently. You are correct. I am of the frog folk, but sadly they have kicked me out. I woke up one day with the ability to speak common, and there was great mistrust among my people, and so they banished me from the tribe, and so now I seek proof to show my people that this is not madness. This came from the all great divine source, and I am looking for a holy necklace of the union to bring to my people to prove that to them, and I believe that it is in this area.
So I see before me some type of hunter and a frog, and then I turn to you. You don't look like the others. What is your name? Speaking to Brother Dogoth.
Brother Dogoth.
And how are you joined by these two?
We are all searching for something.
It's more philosophical than practical. What are you searching for?
We're searching for a book, a girl, a necklace, a demon, a dragon.
Well, that's a lot, sir. But I know something about a necklace. It must be important to you for traveling such long ways and through such horrible circumstances.
I haven't seen a dwarf in town for quite a while.
I
What
too am on a
brings you to
quest.
this horrible place?
Yes, I too am on a quest. Maybe we can work together to achieve what we're looking for.
Dagonia, after Hamathorn has spoken these words, confidently introducing himself to your party, how would you respond to this as the campfire starts to dwindle and the night begins to settle in?
We all need to get some sleep today because tomorrow is another horrible and very long day, I guess. Let's just sleep, let's just rest and see what the morning brings.
And as each of you rest this evening, with your backs against the wall, near the ruins of Firewater City, how specifically do each of you prepare for a good night's sleep? Let us begin with Folkless Wand.
I uncork a small vial that I have taken off of my belt, and I take it and shake something into my mouth and put the stopper back in and put it back on my belt, and you can see that I'm chewing something and hear a little bit of crunching sounds, and I swallow and I say, flies help me sleep. I should have a great night's sleep tonight and wake well rested.
Folkless Wand, this place is very desolate, but you are comforted by the presence of your sojourners. If you would roll a Constitution check, 10 or higher, in order to gain back 1d6 health or inertia, your choice.
I rolled a 5.
A 5. You can take half of 1d6. If you'd roll a d6 and divide by half.
So 2.
2 total. You gain back 2 health or inertia, your choice. Brother Dogoth, as you settle in for a good night's sleep, how do you prepare to rest?
Well, I've been praying for a while since our battle. I have a little sense of something that's unresolved. So I'm going to go talk to Folkless Juan about what I feel was, what she did was kind of an abomination of nature. So I was going to go talk to her about that.
Brother Dogoth, you see that Juan has just finished chewing up a few flies and settling in for a good night's sleep. You see that she is still awake at this point. How do you proceed?
I was going to walk over and sit down on a rock next to her and say, I forgive you for attacking me, but I have to know why you attempted to use dark magic on Kazuka.
That is the question that I have been asking myself. I swore that I would not dip into this dark knowledge that I have. But in the heat of the moment, I saw that my comrade had lost his life and acted without thinking.
Have you ever used that before?
No. I promised myself I would never do that.
Can you promise me you'll never use it again?
I do not know. I would have promised you that I never would have used it before that moment. But in the moment, something shifted. I don't know if it was need. I don't know if it's linked to having been given common tongue. I want to say yes. I want to promise myself, but I don't know if I can even promise myself that.
Is it possible if in the moment you could give us a sign or a warning that that's upon you again?
At best, I can only say I will try my best.
Okay.
As I sit by the fire, warming my hands, I listen to this, and I must ask, dark magic? Who is using dark magic?
I did.
That's forbidden here.
It is forbidden among my people as well.
So how do you possess such strength, such power?
At one time, the all-great divine source came to me. I don't know if that's where that came from. I'm not certain. My memory around that seems to be somewhat in shadow.
Well, know that there are demons here, and we need to be very careful with what type of magic we do use, if we use any at all.
I understand. I do not want to use this magic again. I did not like it. I did not like... I fear I am becoming someone that I do not want to be.
Well, it looks like we are all on a journey, both physically and maybe even spiritually. We could take that journey together.
I would like that.
Can you use that axe?
Oh, I can use this axe. This is a very powerful, strong axe. I've yet to take down a demon, though, and that is my quest.
Well, there's plenty around here. I promise you that. Well, you're welcome to come in my book. We could use the more the merrier.
Brother Dogoth, I am honored. Thank you.
Bulkless Juan, as you sit there listening to Hammerthorn and Brother Dogoth speak with you, would she find that conversation therapeutic and healing?
I think so. I think she's very, very rattled and doesn't know what to think herself, and having some outside input at least makes her feel a little more grounded and less uncertain, even if it doesn't answer any of the questions.
Bulkless Juan, as you drift off to sleep, you may reduce your trauma score back to 0. Dagonia, as you settle in for a good night's rest, how then do you prepare?
I have my big cloak that I always carry with me. So I always, put it around me because I'm always cold. Plus, I'm always having bad dreams. I'm always having bad dreams because of all these demons I'm fighting in my past. Every night before I go to sleep, I meditate. And I'm just trying to calm myself down and be in peace with myself, because there was so much going on in my life in the past, and it's hard to fall asleep. But I think I'm among good friends, so I'm calm. I'm trying to be calm because I know there's a big day ahead.
Dugonia, you may roll a Constitution check 10 or higher to gain back 1d6 health. On a failure, you only gain half of a d6.
It's 15.
That is a success. Roll your d6 and gain that health back. Brother Dogoth, you may also do the same.
So that's a 13 and a 4.
4 points restored back to you. They may be health points or inertia points, your choice. Folkless One, you may also roll a d4 for eating one of your rations, your collection of flies. That'll be directly applied to your health score. Hammerthorn, having come into this situation, you are in full health as you have not had any recent encounters being able to stealthily move through the petrified forest without being seen by any demons or...
Can you tell me how much of a numerical value that is?
It would be 10 plus your constitution score or your vigor score.
12.
Yep, 12 indeed. Brother Dogoth, having talked to Folkless One, you may also reduce your trauma back down to 0, having had a heart-to-heart conversation with another sojourner. This trauma that you received from encountering the Black Dragon, you are now back down to 0.
I feel like I'm almost a new person, and dragons and demons and undead creatures don't have any... They're scary and they're dangerous, but they're not as frightening as I would have believed before we started on this journey.
Welcome, Sojourners. This is Jonathan behind the screen. I'd like to stop here because I thought this was a perfect example of how I encourage role-playing at the tabletop games. Brother Dogoth started out as a meek and mild monk, very unsure of himself and incredibly cautious. Most of the time, he would just sit in the background of combat and support the party. But now, we've seen him take a lot of the lead. As Brother Dogoth just said, there were dragons and demons, and they were always there, and they're still scary, but it's not something I can't handle anymore. I think this really exemplifies how we can develop resilience in our life over our past experiences. Sure, we've all gone through hard things, and that's why I built the trauma system into the role-playing game. As sojourners have the lights put out, or see a monster for the first time, or witness something terrible, they get points of trauma. If they ever get to 6, it's really bad news, and most often the character is completely retired from the game as an NPC. But if you notice, the trauma is always reduced when sojourners interact in heart-to-heart conversations with another. This all started because I wanted my players at the table to interact with each other, but I recognize that people don't really do things unless there's a tangible reward attached to the end of it. And so, it's simple. If sojourners engage in telling backstory, sharing insight, or having a heart-to-heart moment with one another along the journey of life, then the trauma score is reduced back down to 0. And in this case, this is what happened to Folkless One and Brother Dogoth. And I really like how Hammerthorn, the new character, jumped right into the role-playing conversation. It's almost as if we were right there around the campfire in the middle of Firewater Desolation. Well, that's enough insight from behind the screen. Back to the story. And for having accepted a new sojourner so effortlessly into your ranks, each of you gets 1 luck point, if you do not already have one. You can cash this in for a free reroll on a d20 check. Hammerthorn, you may also acquire this as well.
If we have 1, do we stay at 1 or do we get 2?
You stay at 1.
Okay.
Upon waking, you see the sun rises, as usual, over Firewater Desolation, and you see that most of your journey is through the petrified forest, on your way to track down where Sasha is being kept. You sense that you're close. But on this leg of your journey, in order to find Sasha, what would you be paying attention to, and how would you proceed? Dugonia.
The forest is so dark and looks dangerous. Um, I don't know what kind of creatures can be hiding there. And I probably have to fight a demon again today. I don't know. It looks very unwelcoming. So, but I'm happy that we have a good team, so we can find our way through and find Sasha. Hopefully one day.
And how would you proceed, Dagonia?
I asked my friends to get up and start going and start our quest today. We have to start early. It's going to be a very long day and very tiring day.
Brother Dogoth, as you are woken from sleep by Dagonia, what are you paying attention to in this morning as you begin your quest to find Sasha?
I am looking to the way forward, the landscape, the sky, to see what we can see.
Very good. You may make a check of your choice. It would be wisdom based on your senses and ability to navigate, some sort of navigation check. You're going to need to roll a 12 or higher in order to gain some information.
A 10.
A 10 is not a success, so at this point you're having a difficult time navigating your way through. This Firewater Desolation is very unfamiliar territory, and while you have a good understanding of the sky and the stars and the landscape, you've never been here before, so you had no idea where the demons might be keeping this woman. Focus 1, as you awake from slumber, what are you paying attention to this morning in joining the Sojourner's quest?
It takes a little while to wake up from the fly-induced sleep, and as I blink my eyes wearily and look around me, my eyes fall on Hammerthorn, and I recall that he said something about knowing something about the necklace last night, and so I'm going to approach him, and I give him a small bow of greeting, and I say, Hammerthorn, you spoke of knowing a necklace yesterday. Can you tell me what knowledge you have?
I have limited knowledge of this point, but I understand it's important. But from what I remember, and now that I trust all of you in this group, I think there is something that you should know. A few days ago, in the forest, I saw some people with a young lady, a girl with a blue ribbon. Is this person, do you know this person?
I say, I do not, but I know our friends are looking for a girl. Dagonia, Brother Dogoth, do either of you, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't know her, but we know her mother, Ubi, and she's looking for her for such a long time. So we need to find her. So it's a good sign that she's around.
Well, where have you been looking for her? Because she's through the forest.
We looked her everywhere. We were up in the
In the castle?
yes, the castle, yeah, and but we couldn't find her there, and that's why we're on this quest and searching for her.
The way I understand it, she's going to be sacrificed. And if we are going to successfully rescue this young girl, we need to go. Brother Dogoth, Folkless Swan, are you ready to take on this journey?
Is this the quest that you are on?
This is not my quest, but I understand from the two of you in our discussion last night, this young lady is important to somebody.
Very.
And so we cannot allow her to be traumatized, killed for any reason.
I agree. Do you know the direction that they are? Did you pass them on your way?
To the best of my understanding, they went northeast through the forest. And if we look close enough, if you give me time, that could probably give us at least a head start because I can track.
Okay. I think Dagonia could probably smell them when she
Dagonia, you
gets
could smell them?
close.
I
Yes.
can smell anything and everything.
Well, you have a thing for demons.
Yes, absolutely. I do.
Well, Dagonia, please help me. Let's find their tracks.
Yeah.
Brother
Let's
Dogoth, Focus Swan, let's go.
Hammerthorn, as you lead the party northeast, with Dagonia aiding in your tracking, Brother Dogoth and Fogless Wand supporting and following. Hammerthorn, you need to roll a 12 or higher check.
Exactly on the number, 12.
Exactly on a 12. In just the right amount of time through the petrified forest, Hammerthorn, you find a shortcut. And then you recall this is most likely the direction they were heading. You've seen this spot before. You've heard the beating of the drums and the wailing of cultists. You've heard their diabolical rituals echo throughout the night as you tried to get sleep. And you were able to lead the party through the petrified forest into this location before noonday. You have moved into the petrified forest, and you start to hear the sounds of drums beating. At this point, all you hear are drums beating in a northeasterly direction as you move through tree after tree after tree. There is no cover from the sun, so the sun shines straight through the forest edge with no branches to protect you from the heat. Nevertheless, this is a maze, a labyrinth of charred timber and trunks and branches. And what you are walking through is a self-made trail that you are navigating through in this forest. But over to your right, immediately in a northerly direction, there is a clear path in which demon footprints and human footprints have intermingled, leading into a more straight direction into the ritual chamber. At this point, you're inside the trees, inside the forest. Juan, as you're moving along at the rear end of this party, keeping up, how are you contributing to the success of navigating to the right direction?
As a druid, I'm using my knowledge of plants to see which side of the trees the lichen is growing on to know which direction we are moving in.
Easy enough, you know you are moving in a northeasterly direction, further and further away from civilization, you remember, far away from Stillwater Swamp. In fact, you might even be farther than you have ever been from any civilization. If you continue going north, you would encounter a mountainous region. Brother Dogoth, as you're walking along following Dagonia, how are you contributing to the success of this party?
I keep getting distracted by things in the woods. I admittedly am lost in my own mind. I should be paying more attention, but I just keep thinking back to the previous day and the loss of Kazuka. And if there's something that I could have done to save him.
Vocalist Juan and Brother Dogoth, you're hearing the rhythm of the drums starting to beat, getting closer and closer, hammering into your chest. Vocalist Juan, you have definitely heard of these drums before, and you know that they're very similar to something that your people have used, and it's some sort of appeal to a higher power, a supernatural force, to grant the entire tribe power at the cost of one life. If this ritual is complete, you recognize that this is probably going to bolster the resolve of whatever force is upon this Firewater desolation, whatever demonic cult this might be.
My friends, I have some bad news. The beating of the drum that we're hearing, my tribe uses something similar. When we are in a really, really, really bad spot, we have access to very dark magic, or at least our shaman does, and we can bring some power back to our tribe. But it costs the sacrifice of a life. I fear that whatever is happening, we should move quickly because someone is about to die.
With that being said, Folkless One, as you're paying attention to the fungus and the lichen upon the trees, and Brother Dogoth, as your mind is becoming distracted and looking at every single tree along the way, every raven standing aloft on the branches calling out your name, Brother Dogoth and Folkless One, you do a double glance and you see, was it Kazuka's face that you saw in the trees? Was it a face you recognize? And as you do a double take, you see that the tree you looked back is just a simple char, a simple blackened tree burnt by dragon's breath. And yet, as you progress through this forest again, in the back you see that another tree sticks out its tongue at you, making a face. And one tree puckers his lips, maybe blinks his eyes. You know that something strange is happening with these trees, yet, for their part, Hammerthorn and Dagonia are keeping a strong watch on the demonic trail. Only the two of you see this at this moment. Folkless One, Brother Dogoth, how do you respond? Every story comes to an ending, so for now, we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. Background music and ambiance provided by Tabletop Audio. Find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. For more information on becoming a game master or player at your table, visit www.sojournersawake.com. And wherever you sojourn, however far or near, as always, may your story continue.